were going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe that our freedoms, our liberties are perilously close to the brink. And if we really don't take some drastic measures right now to preserve our freedoms, our independence, our sovereignty, all of these issues that we're debating between left and right are really going to evaporate into nothingness because we're not going to have anything left to debate. Our country is on the precipice of losing our freedoms, of losing our sovereignty, our national independence. And if we don't recognize that as a people, if we don't do what our founding fathers did and do whatever is necessary to preserve those ideas, they're going to be lost and this country is going to be toast. I really believe that these are the last days of liberty unless this generation steps up to the plate and does what it's got to do to preserve those principles that were bequeathed to us by our forebears.
And we'll find out what those are when we get back. Radio Free Rocky D, 1250, the Big Talk, WTMA.
AM 1250.
All right, Constitution Party candidate for president, Chuck Baldwin is in the studio. And before we go to callers, one question is, when you're not one of the two big duck party candidates, even the libertarians, got squished. You're on an uphill road. How do you do it?
Well, sure, it's an uphill road, but it was an uphill road in 1776. Our job is to just do our duty. My favorite all-time quote is from John Quincy Adams, who said, "Duty is ours, results are God's." And that's all we can do is just step up the plate and do our duty and do what's right and let the chips fall where they may. And who knows what will happen with our efforts. But the fact of the matter is the two major parties are not getting the message out. They are not addressing the salient issues that need to be addressed because they are part of the problem. Ronald Reagan said, government is not the solution. It is the problem.
Yeah.
And that's what these two major parties have become. They've become the problem itself. And there's going to be no real change of direction until we get somebody in there philosophically is willing to recognize the threat to our country. And the threat is not in Iraq. It's not in Iran. It's not in Georgia. It's in Washington, D.C., Rocky. And that's what we've got to realize.
Plus, you got a big threat in Denver right now.
Well, we have maybe a threat in Minneapolis, too.
You will see next week. Of course, I'm going to miss 2 days of that. But
I'll be there.
Oh, yeah?
Hell yeah, I'll be there.
Cool. We need you to call in. I'm going to give you the inside line number and everything here.
All right, great. I'll be there with Ron
Yeah.
Paul in his convention. In fact, there'll be more people in attendance at Ron Paul's side convention than there will be at the RNC.
That'll be interesting.
Yes, sir.
That'll be very cool. Here's Ike. Hey, Ike, talk to presidential candidate Chuck Baldwin.
Hey, good afternoon. It strikes me as funny that are suspicious in a way that any time globalization is brought up and loss of sovereignty, the biggest player in the game besides government is big business, and yet nobody seems to want to address the constitutional issue of reining in or maybe stripping some of the protectionist powers that have been given them over the decades and over the centuries of being able to protect themselves from being regulated or having to charter themselves.
What's your question, Ike?
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what he's talking about, and let me tell you something. When you go to, and I talk about this all the time. I don't know how much you've heard of my speeches and so forth, but I address this all the time because what we have going on is a mixture of socialism and corporatism. We've kind of morphed them together. And we've got what we've got today with the two major parties. But you go online and check the websites that track the donations to the major party candidates, and you track where the donations are coming from to John McCain and where the donations are coming from to Barack Obama. You know what you're going to find, Ike? You're going to find that they're coming from the same people, from the same places. And that's the problem. You're exactly right. There has been a marriage take place between these international entities and our government and its lobbyists. And he's exactly right, Rocky, because this is what is happening today, and the losers are the American people, and the loss of our independence. That's what's being lost.
Did you know an ABC reporter was arrested? Was it yesterday?
I heard about that.
You heard me tell it, right?
It may have been you. Yeah, I heard about it.
Because he was standing on the sidewalk filming some corporate guys basically talking about money with some of the candidates' staffers, and they arrested the guy because they don't want it shown. And that's what I'm afraid of. Government telling us we can't see inside what's going on. Here's Kendra. Oh, wait a minute, I missed the button. Hey, Kendra, talk to candidate Chuck Baldwin.
Hey, my name's Kendra. How are you, Mr. Baldwin?
I'm fine, Kendra. How are you?
Good. I have a question in regards to the border.
We got 45 seconds.
Okay.
Till we go to.
I'd like for him to address the open borders as it relates to the corporatism and the tolerance of
I know
all
what
the
she
illegal
means.
aliens.
I know what she means.
Sure.
She means who's profiting by illegals in this country.
Well, the Democrats think they're profiting by getting votes, and the Republicans think they're profiting by getting cheap labor. So that's why neither major party wants to do anything about illegal immigration. Plus, let's not forget that what's going on here is George Bush in 2005 signed the Security and Prosperity Partnership in Waco, Texas, and with that agreement comes an open border policy. He doesn't want to close the border because he agreed with Vicente Fox that he would not close the border. And as a result, he has done nothing on the border to prevent what's happening, and he will do nothing, and John McCain will do nothing. Good grief, this is the guy that wanted to give amnesty to 12 to 15 million illegal aliens.
I had him right in here and I grilled him on that one. I said, how'd that work out for you, John? And he went, not too good.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. Yeah, he says
right
that.
there.
Let me tell you, Rocky, he says that now, but after he's president, he'll bring it back. I guarantee you he'll do everything he can to give amnesty to illegal aliens.
All right, can we go to 7? Well, we are there anyway, aren't we? At 57. That's what I'm talking about. Chuck Baldwin, candidate for Constitution Party. Welcome, my fellow Charlestonians, citizens of the Low Country, those who serve in uniform to protect the red, white, and blue, and those who serve in local uniform, sworn to protect the innocent citizens of the Low Country. And then there's me. This is Radio Free Rocky D, the Big Talker. My running mate on 1250 WTMA. You, my friends, may in fact be politically incorrect. All you got to do, stand up in front of a crowd and tell the truth out loud. When you do that, that makes you politically incorrect, and you will be surrounded immediately by the PC Thought Police. There they are. They're all around you to say, vote for me and I'll set you free. And you say, rap on, brother. Rap on. I don't believe you. Call Rocky D, 556-1250, star 1250, or toll free, 800-737-1250. You can email me at rockyd@WTMA.com, or you can instant message me at rockyd1250. Constitution candidate Chuck Baldwin is in the studio, and if that didn't scare him away, nothing will.
Hey, Rocky. Oh, take a breath, man. Good to be here.
This is, as you can see, you've done a lot of radio interviews.
Yeah.
This is the First Amendment.
Yes, absolutely.
Right here. I am the
you
First
got
Amendment.
it.
You can talk. We've only got it for another half an hour, which you can pitch your website. Go ahead.
Yeah, just want to get the website up where people can go and find out more about us. So if they want to help us and contribute to our campaign, have any questions or whatever, it's baldwin08.com. That's www.baldwin08.com.
Great. Now, are you in favor of the fair tax?
I'm not saying that I'm opposed to the fair tax. I do believe that I would consider it, but I do think there's other ways to go about it. And if you'd like to get into discussion on that, I'd be glad to do it. I do believe that what we have to do is eliminate the IRS. We have to eliminate the income tax.
Yeah.
We've got to get rid of the 16th Amendment. And the Constitution, in Article 1, says that the way that the limited federal government, and let's emphasize that word limited, unlike today, which is unlimited, is to be funded is by excises, duties, and tariffs. And what I would do after getting rid of the 16th Amendment, after getting rid of the IRS, after slashing federal spending and eliminating the Department of Education and the Department of Energy, et cetera, and after having put Ron Paul as Secretary of the Treasury in Washington, D.C., and then at that point, what I would do is propose an across-the-board 10% general tariff of all imports coming into the United States, and that would be in line with the constitutional prescription for funding the federal government without burdening the American people.
Because I've been throwing these numbers around forever, and I know that Linder and Bortz's book and all that, the fair tax. I just don't see where the United States government actually needs an income tax.
No, it doesn't. In fact,
They don't need it; they want it.
In my view, yeah, because it's unconstitutional. Look, what it does, it allows the federal government to spend all it wants with no control, no constraint.
Yeah.
The only difference in this area, Rocky, between the Republicans and the Democrats is the Democrats want to tax and spend, and the Republicans want to borrow and spend. But they both want to spend out of control.